Chapter 1 God Level Training System. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ding! Congratulations on binding the God Level Training System. Ding! Get a novice gift package. Ding! You have obtained Kusanagi Sword, Basic Swordsmanship, 3 Dance Slash, and Sword Slash LV1. Knowledge Color Domineering LV1, Armed Color Domineering LV1, and Domineering Color Domineering LV1. In a storage room with a size of 20 square meters, Yueguang suddenly sat up, listening to the continuous voices ringing in my mind. My heart was overwhelmed with shock. Domineering? This is a unique thing in the pirate world. Could it be that I have traveled to the pirate world? Is it also bound to a god-level training system? A novice gift package, the artifact Kusanagi sword. Looking at the simple long sword in his hand, Moonlight murmured, his name is Moonlight, and he is a dick. After graduating from university, he couldn't find a job, so he moved bricks on the construction site. Unexpectedly, the shelf supporting the high platform fell down, and countless reinforced concrete fell down, and the Moonlight was buried underneath. He thought he was dead, but he didn't, and he also traveled to his favorite world of pirates. As a dick, I am no stranger to the most popular time travel and systems, but I never thought that this kind of thing would happen to me one day. In order to be sure that this was not a dream, Moonlight stood up with the Kusanagi sword in his hand, and lightly poked at the wooden barrel as tall as a person in front of him. Crack! The wooden barrel was punctured in an instant, and the bright red wine spilled out, flowing all over the ground in a blink of an eye. It can be seen how sharp the sword is. At the same time, a voice sounded in my mind. Ding! You swung your sword and gained 100 by 100 experience points. Ding! Since the basic swordsmanship and 3-stage slash have reached the full level, it will automatically be converted into the experience required for drawing a sword. Ding! Pull out the knife and cut to upgrade to LV2. Ding! Unlock a new skill, Raptor Severing. Listening to the voice, a panel attribute suddenly appeared in my mind. Moonlight, Basic Swordsmanship, the system will give you no rank. 3-stage cut, the system will give you no grade. Draw a knife and cut LV21/100000, can be promoted. Raptor Severing Sky /LV11/100000, upgradable and unlockable. Knowledge Color Domineering LV11/10,000, can be promoted. Armed Color Domineering LV11/10,000, can be promoted. Overlord Color Domineering LV11/10,000, can be promoted. Break out the sword, cut in 3 steps, and the artifact Kusanagi sword. This is not a dream, it's real. Feeling the power surging in his body, and the extra knowledge about sword skills in his mind, Moonlight murmured, right now, at least one thing is certain, he has really crossed over, and got a very awesome system. Just simply swinging the sword, a few sword skills can be upgraded, and new skills can be obtained. The higher the level of the sword skill, the more terrifying the power. The sword skill of LV1 can emit sword energy, sense the heartbeat and vitality of the people around. The sword skill of LV2 can cut through hard iron. It is extremely powerful. One can imagine how powerful the sword skills of LV3 and LV4 should be. Not to mention domineering. If the body of the sword is domineering, its power is unimaginable. Boom! At this moment, earth-shattering noises suddenly sounded outside, and under the arrogance of knowledge, Moonlight could clearly perceive the whistling sound of shells piercing the air. It's bad, it's a pirate, a pirate. No way, isn't the East China Sea always peaceful? How could there be pirates? Damn, why is this happening? I'm just out for a trip, how could I encounter such a thing? At the same time, countless panicked shouts rang out from all around. It was the exclamation of the tourists on the ship who were attacked by pirates. Bang bang bang, at this time, dozens of footsteps sounded, and the pirates boarded the ship. A rough and ferocious roar followed. Little ones, give it to me, there are so many fat sheep, it's enough for the brothers to have a good time. Everyone, stand up for me. We only ask for money, not for anything else. Of course, if you don't know people, you won't be polite. Root, take out all the valuables, otherwise don't blame us for being rude. That's right, it's a pirate. This is pirate world. Hearing this, Moonlight opened the door and walked out. He was still a little hesitant at first, but when he saw the endless sea outside, and the very conspicuous red heart pirate flag docked beside it, wasn't it the Alrita pirate ship? Of course, if you see him in person, you will be even more convinced. Thinking of this, he walked towards the cabin. I saw that the cabin was already in chaos, and dozens of men with big knives and tattoos engraved in their hands shouted viciously. All the tourists panicked and huddled together, not daring to move. Seeing the pirates coming, he didn't dare to resist, and obediently handed over the gold and silver treasures on his body. Although you will lose a lot of treasure, it is better than losing your life. In the world of pirates, strength is the most respected. The life of the weak can be trampled on at will. Life is cheaper than grass. Fortunately, these pirates still know the truth of the long flow of water. If they are all killed, there will be fewer tourists coming to the East China Sea in the future, so they only want to make money. Moonlight touched his body. It was empty. Obviously he was a poor man. He didn't have a bailee. The pirate wanted to rob him, but he was looking for the wrong person. However, at this moment, several pirates came towards him, slashed their swords, and said fiercely, "Money! I'm new here too, penniless." Moonlight took out his empty pocket and said helplessly, "Damn it, you're actually a poor ghost. It's unlucky to meet such a person. Go away." Seeing this, several pirates shouted in disgust and were about to leave. They really only want money. "Wait, this sword is not bad. Since you have no money, let's use the sword." At this moment, a pirate saw the Kusanagi sword in Moonlight's hand. His eyes lit up, and he reached out to grab it. "Do you want my sword? This is not acceptable. For a swordsman, the sword is his life." Moonlight smiled faintly, and with a flash of his body, the pirate caught nothing. "Mom, you dare to resist your uncle? Obediently bring it to me, or be careful of your life." Actually dodged Kara's grabbing attack. He has some strength. Since he holds a sword, he must be a swordsman. Hey, a penniless swordsman is also a low-level swordsman. He dares to resist us. He is looking for death. It happens that the brothers have not opened bloody before. Since you dare to resist, then kill the chicken to make an example. Seeing that Moonlight dared to dodge, the pirate suddenly sneered. "Surrounded by all the brains, we are about to start. Little brother, look at you. Although you are a swordsman, you are not very good. You can give them the sword, save your life." "That's right, little brother, a good man doesn't suffer from immediate losses. They are pirates, they kill like hemp, and they do all kinds of evil. Little brother, don't resist, or I will lose my life." Several people around, seeing this scene, also persuaded one after another. An uncle nearby stood up kindly and took out all the bailies. "Masters, this is all my belongings. He is still young, please spare his life." "Hee, uncle, you are really kind, but no need, these little thieves are not my opponents yet." Chapter 2 You Bad Swordsman. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Seeing this, Moonlight said with a smile. Unexpectedly, after hiding a few times, it was regarded as a soft persimmon. Although the sword skill of LV1 is not enough to run rampant in the East China Sea, it is still no problem to deal with a few small thieves. What's more, his sword drawing has reached LV2, which is enough to cut through hard iron. With this kind of power, the entire East China Sea is considered a master. Not to mention that under the domineering armed color, the power is even more terrifying. If it weren't for the fact that the domineering level of Bawangchuan was too low, and he was afraid of affecting innocent people, he would have tried this ability that only the chosen ones can have. So Moonlight declined the uncle's kindness. However, this scene, in the eyes of others, did not know what to do, and asked for a dead end. It's true that newborn calves are not afraid of tigers. Young people don't know the heights of the sky and the depths of the earth, and they don't know what is good or bad unless they hit a wall. Hey, people are looking for death, why do you help? Arrogant and ignorant. All the people around shook their heads in disdain, and the pirate sneered even more. It's a big tone, swordsman, you said that we little thieves can't do anything to you, then okay, let us see the strength of you, a penniless swordsman. Arrogant boy, you will pay for your words and deeds. Idiot, you are courting death. Kill him and let everyone know the consequences of resisting us. While sneering, they walked towards the Moonlight, their faces were full of fierceness, their swords were raised horizontally, and they rushed over with murderous aura. Obviously moved to kill. Hey, the uncle who was going to help Moonlight also shook his head and sighed, put Bailey down and left. Really? The consequences of resisting you. Hearing this, Moonlight smiled disdainfully, raised the Kusanagi sword, and a crescent-like sword energy slashed out. 3 cuts. Boom! I saw the sword energy sweeping across, as fast as lightning, forming 3 sections, and slashed towards the pirates who rushed over. The sword energy enough to cut through hard iron hit the pirates at once. How can the flesh and blood of these pirates resist? Immediately, his body was cut off by a sword, blood was spilled all over the ground, and the dead could not die again. Moreover, the power of the sword energy remained undiminished, and it chopped all the way out along the cabin, and the tables, stools and chairs were chopped to pieces wherever it passed. Extended all the way outside the cabin before stopping. This. It's too exaggerated. Is he a peerless master? What a terrifying slash. Seeing this scene, everyone around couldn't help but stare at Moonlight in astonishment, their faces full of disbelief. A few people who ridiculed Moonlight knelt on the ground with a plop, dumbfounded. The uncle who was about to help Moonlight also looked at Moonlight with a bewildered expression on his face. Uncle, thank you for your kindness, your Bailey, put it away. Seeing this, Moonlight smiled slightly and left the cabin. Kebe, who is the most beautiful woman in this world. At this time, outside the cabin, a 500-gene-old lady was holding a mace, and was yelling at a little boy viciously. Of course it's you, my captain, Lord Alrita. KB trembling legs, said tremblingly. Ha ha ha. Alrita laughed out loud, the fat on her face trembling exaggeratedly. The pirates around laughed even more. They were victorious, but they didn't realize what happened in the cabin at this time. Alrita, Kobe, it really is pirate world, and I actually came to this ship, the place where Kobe and Luffy first met. Seeing this scene, Yuiguang was completely convinced that he really came to the world of pirates. Immediately my heart became excited. In this era of great voyages, it is every pirate's dream to find the One Piece, the great secret treasure, and he is no exception. Now that he has come to this world and has such a strong system, he naturally wants to look for it. What's more, the countless regrets in the previous life, such as the death of Ace and Whitebeard, as a pirate fan, I naturally don't want to see it. And that blank 100-year history, he wanted to figure it out. Now that time travels. It is natural to figure out all this. However, it is not so easy to go to sea. First of all, there must be a ship that can withstand the wind and waves. Secondly, navigators and archaeologists are indispensable. Since this is the case, why not get on Luffy's ship? Although I don't want to be the One Piece, I want to know what this history is and what One Piece is. Moonlight murmured, making up her mind. Captain, it's bad, a swordsman killed several of our brothers. Captain, that swordsman is too powerful, he killed them all with one blow. Captain, only you can deal with it. At this moment, a few escaped pirates rushed towards Alrita. Trash, why panic, isn't he just a swordsman? As long as it's not the pirate hunter Sauron, there's nothing to be afraid of. Seeing this, Alrita roared violently, smashing down the mace in her hand. Crack, a big hole was directly punched out on the deck, and several pirates who were running wildly flew out. Are you the one who killed me? Then she saw the Moonlight at a glance and shouted. Without him, Moonlight came out at this time, holding the Kusanagi sword, and there was no one around. It was so obvious. It's me. Moonlight nodded and said lightly. Look at your skill, join us and become my subordinate. I will take you to the Great Route, and look for One Piece together. Alrita grinned and beckoned. Hey, boy, you are pretty good at it. You can kill some of our brothers with a sword. But since the captain has taken a fancy to you, I will spare your life and not come here. Is there actually a swordsman on this kind of ship? But as long as it's not the pirate hunter Sauron, then there's nothing to be afraid of. Our captain is a famous figure in the East China Sea. Boy, if you don't come here, it's your luck that our captain has taken a fancy to you. Beside Alrita, several pirates shouted one after another. Hee, just a few little thieves, a broken ship, want to go to the Great Sea route, and want to win me over. You are not qualified enough. Hearing this, Moonlight said disdainfully. So you rejected me? Hearing this, Alrita shrank her eyes, and burst out with killing intent. Nonsense, my words are clear, are you deaf? Moonlight sneered. Looking for death, you dare to speak rudely to our captain, you kid is tired of life. A low-level swordsman dares to be arrogant in front of our captain. You probably don't know how powerful our captain is. Stop talking nonsense with him, Captain, let's get rid of him, such a small character, you don't need to take action yet. The pirates got angry immediately, they killed people like hemp, they were extremely vicious, never been afraid of them. At the moment, they are gearing up and shouting angrily. As long as Alrita gives an order, they will kill them. Ha ha ha, Alrita laughed out loud. Chapter 3 Luffy invited me on board. You are listening at novelfull.audio. With a wave of the mace in his hand, he shouted. On. Immediately, several pirates rushed up, murderous and fierce. Kebe, who is the most beautiful woman in this sea? Alrita then looked at Kebe and asked. Yes. Lord Alrita, you. Facing Alrita's aura, Kebe said with a trembling voice. However, halfway through speaking, his mouth suddenly opened wide, and he looked at the Moonlight in disbelief, as if he saw a ghost, and he couldn't say anything after that. Okay. Hearing half of Kebe's words, Alrita's eyes turned sideways, and she was about to get angry, but when she saw Kebe's stunned expression, she followed her gaze, and suddenly her eyes froze, and her whole body became serious. My God, what is that? It's amazing, it's really amazing. Is this the true strength of that swordsman? It's so powerful. At this time, the scene on the deck also attracted the attention of the tourists in the cabin. They came out one after another, and immediately saw a scene of shock. Facing the dozen or so pirates rushing forward, Moonlight swung the long sword in his hand, and a 10-meter-wide crescent-like sword aura, like a beam of moonlight, slashed out in the air. The sword energy was flying across the sky, extremely fast, and several pirates who rushed forward were killed by a single sword before they had time to react, and the dead could not die again. Moreover, the sword energy still swept across, and the terrifying power caused the surrounding ships to be destroyed like waves. The power of the Moonlight sword is so terrifying. How is it possible that a dozen of Kara and the others were killed by a sword? What kind of swordsmanship is this? It's like Moonlight, so powerful. With this strength, even the pirate hunter Zoro is no match at all. The rest of the pirates were stunned. Facing this terrifying power, they dared not act presumptuously. Some even got scared and ran away. Damn it, it's so strong, it seems that I have to meet you personally. Alrita's expression was extremely solemn. This kind of sword skill is truly terrifying. Even if it is her, it may not be an opponent, but since as a captain, if he retreats immediately when encountering a powerful enemy, then why go to sea, let alone go to the Great Route and get the great secret treasure? Pirates are blood-licking, extremely ferocious desperados. All of a sudden, Alrita rushed up, her 500-gene body was like a human tank. During the running, the deck seemed to be unable to bear her weight, and she trembled violently. Coupled with a spiked iron rod weighing hundreds of caddies, it is even more powerful. This blow has a force of 400 to 500 caddies. With a wave of the iron rod, the air around him roared faintly, enough to show his strength. As expected of the captain, if this stick continues, the tiger will be crushed to death. Come on, Captain, kill this penniless swordsman. The captain is mighty, the captain is mighty. Seeing this, the pirates all around cheered. No, although this female pirate is fatter, she is very strong. This swordsman may not be an opponent. Too young, really too young, how can you be the opponent of this pirate leader? To suffer, that the tourists all around also exclaimed. Alabasta was able to run amok in this sea area, relying on her formidable strength. This stick is enough to prove everything. Be careful, that even Kebe couldn't help shouting, as a prisoner, he knows how powerful Alabasta is. It's okay, that person is strong. However, at this moment, a refreshing voice suddenly sounded. I saw a 17-year-old boy walking up to Kebe, wearing a straw hat, looking at the scene in front of him indifferently. Huh? Who are you? Hearing this, Kebe couldn't help being stunned, looked at the young man beside him, and asked. My name is Monkey. Luffy, the man who aims to become the One Piece. One Piece? Kebe was stunned, staring blankly at the boy who suddenly appeared in front of him. He didn't seem to be able to react when someone suddenly appeared beside him, and then he jumped up suddenly as if he had been kicked by the foot, and said with a face full of shock. You, are you talking about the One Piece, the strongest man who ruled the world, the great secret treasure left by the former pirate King Roger? Good. Luffy nodded, showing a bright smile. I'm currently looking for a partner. This person is very strong, I want him to be my partner. Then Luffy pointed at the Moonlight and said. At this moment, only a bang was heard, as if a balloon had exploded suddenly. Kebe was taken aback and looked over quickly. Immediately, I saw an extremely shocking scene. I saw Alabasta rushing towards the unknown swordsman, swinging the iron rod and rushing towards the swordsman. She was about to hit the swordsman, but the swordsman didn't dodge, then he punched out, and it hit Alabata's body fiercely. Alabasta let out a scream, and saw her fat body of kg suddenly flew out towards the sea, flew a long distance, and disappeared from everyone's sight. Ah! Alabasta was blown away. Kebe was shocked and couldn't believe what he saw. No, the captain was sent flying by this swordsman. Run away, Captain. When all the pirates saw this scene, they couldn't help being shocked. They didn't dare to stay any longer. They scattered like birds and beasts, and left quickly. It's amazing, it actually knocked this Alabasta into the air. You are our savior. If it weren't for you, we would be in disaster. Thank you, you saved us all. Great, and all the tourists cheered one after another, smiling gratefully at Moonlight. Haha, Moonlight smiled faintly and didn't care. Alabasta was just a trivial matter to him. By the way, I'm a little hungry. At this moment, the stomach growled suddenly. He just crossed over, but he was hungry. Now such an activity makes me even hungrier, Moonlight said in embarrassment. Hurry up, serve good wine and food, thank you benefactor. Good. All the tourists laughed one after another, and hurriedly entertained them with good wine and food. Moonlight saved their crew, not to mention good wine and food. Even if they asked for money, they would give it. This is a benefactor. Eat, oh, I want it too. Hearing the good wine and good food, Luffy's eyes straightened immediately, and he screamed, ignoring Kebe next to him, and ran in. The inside was already ready, and he didn't care about anything else at the moment. He ate and stuffed himself like no one else. Seeing this, Kebe gritted his teeth and followed in. The food in Pirate is not bad, delicious. With the warm hospitality of the crowd, Moonlight was full soon, and I have to say, it was indeed extremely delicious. Afterwards, I was polite to everyone, got out of the cabin, and enjoyed the beautiful sea view. You are very powerful, how about being my partner? At this moment, Luffy hiccuped, walked out contentedly, saw the Moonlight, and invited. Chapter 4. You are listening at novelfull.audio. To be your companion. Looking at Luffy with a passionate face, Moonlight couldn't help but feel ironic. He was thinking about how to get on Luffy's boat, but he didn't expect to invite him here. After all, in the vast sea, if one person wants to find One Piece, it is undoubtedly a joke. Without a navigator, I don't know the course. Without a chef, sooner or later you will starve to death. Without archaeologists, who can solve the 100-year mystery of the world government gap? What should I do if I get sick without a ship doctor? Walking on the sea is not an easy task. Yes, my name is Monkey. Luffy, the man who is going to be the One Piece, please be my partner. Luffy nodded and said enthusiastically, I have to say that Luffy does have an irresistible charm when he smiles. This. Moonlight hesitated. Originally, he planned to board Luffy's ship, but he didn't expect to be invited, but isn't that a bit too hasty? Huh, that's great. My luck is really good. I planned to invite 10 people, but I got one right away. At this time, Luffy laughed loudly, patted Moonlight on the shoulder, looking familiar. It was as if Moonlight was already his. Moonlight couldn't help being speechless. This guy really is. KB was also speechless. This was the first time he saw such an invitation. Is that Luffy? I can accept your invitation, but I have something to say first. My goal is One Piece and the pursuit of the lost history, so if you invite me on board, you must have an archaeologist. Moonlight said. Yeah. I thought of it together. As long as we can meet, we will definitely invite, and besides historians, there must also be chefs, musicians, navigators, shipwrights, and ship doctors. Luffy nodded, agreeing wholeheartedly. Very well, Captain. Hearing this, Moonlight nodded and agreed. Great, before sailing, let's send this guy to a nearby island. Luffy nodded, pointing at Kirby behind him. This guy? You are really helpful. Moonlight secretly said, nodding. KB's dream is to be in the Navy, that is, when he meets Luffy, other people would not care about it. Thank you Mr. Luffy, thank you Lord Moonlight, KB said gratefully, tears streaming down his face. He finally met a good person. Hey, give us a boat. Then Luffy yelled at the captain. Seeing the Moonlight, the captain nodded. As for the benefactor, let alone a mere boat, he would give him whatever he wanted. Immediately, the three of them got into the boat and headed towards the nearby islands. Just when the three of them left and everyone's attention was on the three of them, a nimble figure flashed by on Alrida's pirate ship. Although the speed was very fast, the Moonlight was still seen. Nami. Moonlight smiled. A group of 3 people drifted by the wind and soon found the island. The 3 went to the island, only to find that it was a small island called Shields Town. The 153rd branch of the Navy is stationed on the island, which is guarded by Colonel Morgan to prevent pirates from invading. Let's find a place to eat first, I'm starving to death. As soon as he landed on the island, Luffy yelled to eat. Without saying a word, he ran towards the restaurant in the town. Ah, what kind of stomach are you? Didn't you just finish eating? And you left us like this? KB was dumbfounded, looking at Luffy who was galloping all the way, and soon disappeared, and said. Let's go. Moonlight waved his hand. The reputation of Foodie Luffy is very famous in the world of pirates. He already knew it, then walked towards the town, finally found Luffy in a restaurant. At this time, there were 40 or 50 plates in front of him, and Luffy was eating each plate with a mouthful. This kind of eating style and appetite instantly stunned everyone. Kirby was already surprised, but now he was even more surprised. Ah, you are here, come and eat. Seeing the two of them, Luffy stuffed them into his mouth while greeting them. Moonlight was speechless, changed the location, and ordered food alone. Just kidding, eating at the same table with Luffy, you will find that your meal has disappeared in the blink of an eye. In the end, it all went into Luffy's stomach. Do you know each other? The exquisite food came up quickly, and a little girl brought it over, looking at Luffy curiously. Yes, he is our captain. We are pirates. The Moonlight swept over the little girl, and smiled. It was Legia, the girl who brought food to Sauron. Luffy really knows where to choose. Pirates. Hearing these 2 words, Legia immediately opened her eyes wide. Instead of being afraid, she was rather curious. Obviously, in this era, pirates are not a rare thing, and many people even dream of going to sea and getting One Piece. Yes, they are pirates, I am not. Kirby said. However, before he finished speaking, he heard a bang sound, and a young man walked in, followed by a dozen marines. No, it's Bellumibo. Let's go. Oops, this kid is relying on his father's power to do his best. Everyone leave quickly, don't be missed by him. Is it the trouble to come to this store again? Seeing these people, especially the young man at the head, all the diners left in a hurry, obviously very afraid of the young man. It's Master Bay, sit down quickly, the food will be served soon. Seeing Bellumibo, the proprietress hurriedly greeted him. The other party is the son of the captain of the navy, the person who controls the island. She can't afford to offend him. Mom, why do you entertain this kind of person? He has been eating and drinking for nothing for many days. However, the little girl Li Jia shouted loudly. Shut up, Liga. Hush, do you want to get into trouble? The other party can't afford it. Quick, shut up. Hearing this, the proprietress hurriedly shouted. Several guys even pulled the little girl up. Oh. It's you. I know you. You were the one who secretly delivered rice balls to Sauron. I let you go just now. It seems that you haven't suffered enough. Seeing Zilija, Bellumibo's eyes lit up, and then he sneered. Half a month ago, his dog was eating here. After being beaten by Zilija, he was about to attack, but Sauron stopped him. In order to protect the store, Sauron made a bet with him, voluntarily imprisoned without eating or drinking for a month, and he let the store go. It has been almost 20 days now. In order to repay her kindness, Zilija secretly sent the rice balls she made, but it was a pity that Bellumibo caught and threw it out. You villain, relying on your own father to run rampant, but Sauron has made a bet with you that you are not allowed to set foot in this store during this period of time. You are breaking the agreement. At the mention of Sauron, Zilija became even angrier. Who is Sauron? Luffy was eating, so he couldn't help asking. He is a famous pirate hunter in the nearby waters. Someone explained and recounted what had happened. That's it. Hearing this, a trace of anger flashed in Luffy's eyes. Are you ready to intervene again? Seeing this, Moonlight smiled. Roronoa.Sauron, he also wants to see it. Chapter 5 Roronoa.Sauron. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Breaking the agreement. Hahaha, kid, do you think this is playing a game? You still break the agreement. Only a fool will abide by such an agreement. Not only you, but Sauron is also dead. I have already planned to execute him tomorrow. Hahaha, stupid guy, what kind of agreement did you keep, idiot? Hearing this, Bellumibo burst out laughing as if he had heard some funny joke, pointing at the word Liga and laughing. What? You? Damn it. Zilija was furious immediately, but she is a little girl, so what can she do? How despicable, as the colonel's son, to do such a thing. It's a pity, what a pity, that pirate hunter Sauron will die in the hands of such a person. Damn, it's really too hateful. Everyone around was also angry and cursed in their hearts. However, in the face of the strong, how could they have the courage to resist? Haha, bring good wine and good food to the uncle. Maybe the uncle will be happy and spare this small shop of yours. Otherwise, I will tear down your shop now before tomorrow. Bellumibo laughed loudly, and shouted at the proprietress. Boom! However, at this moment, a pair of fists flew over suddenly, slammed Barumebo's face fiercely, and smashed him to the wall in one breath. It's rubbish. Luffy was very angry, and he beat and hugged the injustice. Master. No, the young master was beaten. Seeing this, several marines exclaimed and quickly helped Barumebo up. No, you beat Colonel Monka's son, which will offend the navy. Young man, you have caused a catastrophe, run away quickly. That's right, Colonel Monka is known as the Axeman, and he is very powerful. You will not be his opponent. And all the people around were also screaming. Although it looked very relieved, there was a big man behind Bellumibo, and he couldn't be provoked, immediately advised. You dare to hit me, do you know who my father is? My father is in charge of this place, Captain. Bellumibo looked at Luffy and shouted angrily. So what? Luffy said coldly, his eyes sharpened. You, don't run away if you have the ability, you wait for me, I will tell my father to kill you, dare to offend me, you are courting death. Belumber was frightened immediately. He was domineering, and it was the first time he saw a ruthless man who was not afraid of his father. Really? Don't use him, I'll go and punch him flying. Luffy said coldly. After finishing speaking, he rushed out the door and walked towards the naval base. The lumber was dumbfounded. He didn't expect that Luffy was not only not afraid, but also wanted to beat his father away. Damn it, wait and see. Then he also walked out and reported to Mtlnovel. Mr. Luffy. Seeing this, KB also ran out. I really like fighting against injustice. Such things are not uncommon in a world where the weak are prey to the strong like pirates. Moonlight smiled, paid the money, and followed. Hey, are you really going to find Colonel Monka? That's the Navy. Yes, the Navy itself is powerful, and Colonel Monka is known as the Axeman, and his strength is extremely powerful. Are you really going to do this? Seeing that Moonlight also left, everyone around couldn't help but dared not believe it. Axeman. Although I don't know how strong he is, I don't pay attention to a mere colonel. As for the Navy, it doesn't matter. We are pirates, and we are natural enemies. Moonlight shrugged as an answer, and left the restaurant in a blink of an eye. Pirates. They are pirates. No wonder the Navy is not afraid after hearing this. They are indeed natural enemies. There are pirates who dare to come to an island where the Navy is stationed. They are really brave, but they are different from other pirates. They actually stand out for a trivial matter. They are not ordinary pirates. Hearing this, everyone around was dumbfounded. They didn't expect the three of them to be pirates. The pirates and the Navy are natural enemies, so naturally they are not afraid, but I didn't expect the pirates to stand up for others. Pirates. I didn't expect the Navy to oppress us, but the pirates want to rescue us. This is really ridiculous. And more people sighed in their hearts. The Navy originally represented justice, and the pirates represented evil, just the opposite. Even if they are pirates, they are not ordinary pirates. They are different from those bad guys who burned, killed, and looted. They are good people. Zeely shouted louder, and rushed out immediately after. Liga, the proprietress hurriedly chased her out, but Zeligia had already disappeared. At the naval base, a 17-year-old boy with green hair and a headscarf was tied to a cross on the huge drill field. However, the young man had a stern expression on his face. He didn't care at all. Facing the sun, he seemed to be waiting for something. You are Sauron. At this moment, a boy wearing a straw hat climbed over the high courtyard wall, walked over, and asked. Roll. Sauron replied with one word. You are really interesting. It was Li Jia who asked me to rescue you. The colonel's son violated the agreement and wants to execute you tomorrow. Luffy smiled brightly and said indifferently. What? Sauron raised his head abruptly. Although he had been hungry for more than half a month, his eyes were still sharp, like an unsheathed sword, extremely sharp. It's true, we heard what Bellumibo said, Mr. Sauron. KB also came over and said to Sauron. Mr. Sauron, the captain of the Navy is relying on his own power to rape the villagers here. His son Belumeb broke the agreement and wanted to kill you. Now he should have filed a complaint. The Navy will take action soon. Please save them. Damn it, it really is a bunch of villains. Hearing this, Sauron was finally convinced. In fact, he had expected that the other party would not abide by the agreement, but he did so for the sake of morality in his heart. Who dares to trespass on the naval base? Bold, you actually want to let the prisoner go. Notify the colonel immediately. Wrap around, don't let them escape. At this moment, the Navy discovered the situation here, opened the gate immediately, and dozens of Navy surrounded it. Do they dare to defy my power? At the same time, a rough shout sounded, but it was Minka who received the news and rushed over immediately, so I saw Luffy and others. No, it's Colonel Monka. That's too bad. Seeing this, KB couldn't help screaming, quickly hid behind Luffy. Damn it, untie the rope for me. Sauron couldn't help shouting. Oh. Hearing this, Luffy hurriedly started, but the rope binding Sauron was a special rope, and the more Luffy untied it, the tighter it became. Pirate Hunter Sauron. Whoever you are, anyone who dares to resist my power should die. Come on, kill them. Chapter 6 Sauron joins the occupation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Seeing this, Mtlnovel sneered and ordered, immediately, more than a dozen navies aimed their guns and shot decisively. Bullets pierced the air, heading for them. Damn it, hurry up, how could I die in a place like this? Sauron couldn't help becoming impatient. Ah, KB screamed and buried his body behind Zoro and Luffy. This rope is getting tighter and tighter, but it's okay, my companion will solve them. Luffy was also in a hurry, but it wasn't because he was worried about the flying bullets, but because the rope became tighter and tighter, and he couldn't help but feel a headache. Your companion? Sauron froze for a moment. At this moment, a crescent-like sword chi struck from outside the courtyard wall. The tall courtyard wall collapsed in an instant, the ground was split, and the sword energy was swept across, extremely fast, and a dozen bullets flying towards them were cut through in an instant. Immediately afterwards, more than a dozen marines with guns were also knocked into the air by the aftermath of the sword slash. What? Sauron was taken aback immediately. He is a swordsman and a sword idiot. He naturally knew what such a slash represented. He couldn't help being shocked, and stared fixedly at the person who walked in from the courtyard wall. Lord Moonlight. Kirby was surprised. Oh, here it is, they handed it over to you, I have to untie this rope properly. Luffy said indifferently, concentrating on untying Sauron's rope. Ah. A faint voice sounded, and then the moonlight appeared in everyone's sight. It's this guy. Did the bullet fly with one sword? He can emit sword energy. And the speed of sword energy is faster than bullets. It's so powerful, what a terrifying slash, that when the Navy saw the moonlight, they couldn't help being surprised. Such a slash can be described as terrifying. Who are you, dare to fight against the Navy? I am Colonel Monka of the 153rd Branch. Mtlnovel stared at the moonlight and shouted, although he is very confident in his own strength, but seeing Yuegwang's slash, he has self-knowledge. A ruthless person like Yuegwang is definitely not his opponent. Use the captain of the Navy to suppress him now. The Navy represents the most powerful force in the world, no one dares to challenge him. However, Moonlight ignored it, and swiped the Kusanagi sword, a 10-meter-long crescent sword energy centered on the body, spreading out in all directions. Crack! Immediately, within 10 meters, all the marines were cut off by the sword energy, and Yuegwang did not kill him, so he was only seriously injured. Before Mtlnovel had time to react, the axeman on his left arm was smashed to pieces, and his huge body flew upside down, flying a full 50 meters before falling to the ground, blood flowing. He was seriously injured, and passed out. With one blow, all the marines were cut off. At the same time, the voice of the system sounded in Yuegwang's mind. Ding! You performed a sword slash and gained 100 by 100 experience points. Draw the knife and cut LV 240000/100000 can be promoted. The progress of drawing the knife and cutting increases again, and it will soon rise to LV3, the point of cutting steel. This guy, he can do it with one sword. Sauron's pupils constricted, staring at the moonlight. This sword skill deeply shocked him. Shoo! At this time, Moonlight swung his sword, and the rope on Sauron's body was cut off instantly. Ah, it's broken. Seeing this, Luffy couldn't help being extremely disappointed. Lord Moonlight, that's amazing, Kirby said in admiration. Forget it, the matter has been resolved, let's go. Luffy waved his hand helplessly, ready to leave. Well, Kirby, you can stay here and be a navy. Moonlight nodded, and then prepared to leave. Who are these guys? Sauron murmured, and suddenly shouted towards the moonlight. Hey, who are you? We are pirates, and my name is Monkey. Luffy is a man who wants to become One Piece. Our goal is to find the One Piece. Luffy replied. Pirates? Let me join you. Sauron frowned and said. Okay. Luffy couldn't help being stunned, and stopped in his tracks. Although I disdain the crooked ways of pirates, I offended the Navy and has nothing to do with justice, so I will join you. My goal is to become the world's #1 swordsman. I am very excited to have such a character in your team. Sauron said, looking at Moonlight with excitement. The world's #1 swordsman, okay, you can join us and become our companion. Hearing these words, Luffy suddenly became excited and decisively approved Sauron to join the group. Are you that casual? Moonlight couldn't help but said helplessly. However, Luffy's vision of seeing people is quite accurate. Sauron has a sharp will. Even the pirate hunters. Kabi couldn't help but said sadly, after seeing the brutality of Monka, he was suddenly very disappointed in the navy. Kebe, not everyone in the navy is like him, we're leaving, you can stay here. As if understanding what Kabi was thinking, Luffy patted him on the shoulder and said with a smile. Mr. Luffy. Kabi couldn't help but moved, he also knew in his heart that it was just what he saw, which made him momentarily disappointed. Becoming a navy has been his dream for many years, how could he give up so easily? You guys are so good, you actually defeated Monka, I knew it. Everyone, thank you, let us celebrate you. At this moment, Zlegia ran over, saw Monka lying on the ground, couldn't help cheering, and then said happily. Celebration. It means that there is a lot to eat. Hearing these two words, Luffy couldn't help but his eyes lit up and became excited. Regardless of other things, he ran towards the town. Let's all come together. Zlegia was overjoyed, especially looking at Sauron. Sauron nodded without refusing. Master Captain, let them run away like this. Just as Yuegwang and his party left, many navies gathered at the height of the naval base. Looking at the scene below, they couldn't help but ask the leader. He is the captain of the 153 branch, second only to Monka in the branch. At this time, Monka was defeated, and everyone was headed by him. They are pirates, representatives of evil, we are the navy, messengers of justice. How can we allow pirates to act recklessly under our noses, and arrest them after an hour? A gleam flashed in the captain's eyes, and he spoke righteously, and ordered. An hour? Yes. Hearing this, all the navy responded immediately. The same light flashed across his face. Navy and pirates are indeed natural enemies, but they have their own justice in their hearts. Monka was brutal and violent, even his own people were severely punished, running rampant in the village, fish and meat villagers. They have long been angry. Naval justice, absolutely not. Chapter 7 Don't Reason with Luffy. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Why did he join the navy? Isn't the navy representing justice, punishing evil and promoting good? Everyone has their own ruler in their hearts to measure good and evil, so no one objected to the captain's decision at this time. Instead, he looked at Monka who fell on the ground and his son Bellumibo, who was paralyzed by fright, with a flash of joy in his eyes. Great, Monka and his son have been knocked down. Thank you for saving us, you are heroes. Come, celebrate the heroes, cheers to the heroes. At this moment, the news of the defeat of the Monka father and son spread in the town, and everyone cheered and was very excited. Monka and his son relied on force and power to dominate the town. The people were in dire straits and complained a lot. Now that they were knocked down, everyone became excited. Hearing that Luffy and his gang did it, they were immediately grateful. A feast is to be held for them. Banquet. Food. Wow. Hearing these two words, Luffy's eyes lit up, and he ran wildly without saying a word. A banquet, there must be wine. Sauron also laughed. After being hungry for more than half a month, he was already very hungry and thirsty. Looking at the two people running wildly, Yuegwang couldn't help being speechless. As long as Luffy sees food, he will definitely go crazy. As soon as Sauron heard that there was wine, he was immediately excited. Lord Moonlight, is what Mr. Luffy said true? Not everyone in the navy is like the Monka father and son. At this moment, Kabi asked sadly. Apparently after this incident, the navy he had been looking forward to so much turned out to be like this, which was a big blow. Even the worldview begins to distort. Your vision is too short-sighted. The navy represents the face of the world government. How big is the world? How can it be represented by the Monka father and son and a branch stationed here? There are as many people as Moonlight in the Navy, but he can't represent the Navy, let alone justice. Of course, if that's what justice is in your heart. Moonlight smiled lightly. After finishing speaking, he ignored the stunned Kebe and walked towards the town. At this time, lights and festoons were everywhere in the town, and all the villagers were beaming, expressing their warmest welcome to Luffy and the others. Zilija invited Luffy to her restaurant for a drink. Seeing the food, Luffy had already forgotten his name, and seeing the wine, Zoro was also very excited. The two ate and drank, looking unceremonious. On the contrary, Moonlight seemed normal, eating his own fried rice. The banquet lasted for more than an hour, and the few people were full and satisfied. Okay, thank you for your hospitality, Moonlight.Sauron, let's go. After eating, Luffy patted his round belly with satisfaction, and said to the two, "It is good." The two nodded, ready to leave. At this moment, the navy outside suddenly came in, and the leader was the captain. Seeing a few people, he immediately shouted. "According to someone's report, some pirates have come to the town. It must be you. Out of benevolence, I warn you to leave immediately, otherwise don't blame us for arresting you." "Is it the Navy?" "Humph. Damn Navy." Hearing this, everyone around snorted coldly. It was the pirates, not the Navy, who saved them from the fire and water, and their grievances are clear. "Okay, let's go." However, Luffy clapped his hands, but he didn't care, as if nothing happened. "Just leave." Moonlight smiled faintly, followed, and the three left one after another, leaving only Kebe. Kirby hid in a corner, gritted his teeth, and never showed up. If he wants to become a Navy, he must draw a clear line with pirates, otherwise, they will not be able to pass the test of background. "I'm sorry, Mr. Luffy, Mr. Moonlight, you saved me, but I can't thank you in person. I'm so useless." But Lord Moonlight is right. My vision is too narrow. It has always been my dream to become a Navy. How can a mere monka represent the world? I must stick to my dream. Just let me keep this kindness in my heart forever. KB gritted his teeth and said to himself sternly, then he suddenly stood up and went straight to the captain. "I want to join the Navy and become a sailor, please allow me." Kirby exclaimed, looked determined. "Huh. He seems to be with those pirates." Pirates and Navy are natural enemies. How can a person who has been a pirate become a Navy? "It's impossible to let you join." Seeing Kebe, the four sailors said one after another. When they were on the school grounds, they were condescending, but they saw everything. "Me." Hearing this, Kebe couldn't help trembling, only feeling that the future was dark. That's how he got turned away. With the pirates? I didn't see it. Did any of you see it? However, at this moment, the captain turned around and looked at the people around him. "I did not see it." "I didn't see it either." "None of us saw it." As soon as this remark came out, not only the people around, but also the Navy from all over the world said it one after another. "You all." Hearing this, Kebe, who was already in despair, suddenly saw the sun again. He was extremely smart, and immediately understood what the captain meant, and looked at the captain gratefully, with tears in his eyes. "It's not so easy to become a Navy. Although I approve you to join the army, it's not certain whether you can pass the assessment," the captain said solemnly. "Yes, I will work hard, no matter what kind of test, I will stick to it to the death, and I must become a Navy." KB was decisive, he stopped every word, and his eyes were extremely firm. Hey, Captain, is this our ship?" At the same time, the three of Luffy came to the beach, and seeing the small wooden boat that could only accommodate 3 people, Sauron collapsed. "Where is the Great Route, and this ship can go there? Not to mention the Great Route, even in the East China Sea, a wave could capsize them." "Yeah, so we're going to get a boat and set sail right now." Luffy smiled brightly. "Where's the crew? Is it just the 3 of us?" Sauron couldn't help but collapsed, looking at the Moonlight, and then at Luffy. "The crew is still recruiting, but it will be available soon," Luffy said seriously. Hey, what's going on? Are you being fooled by this guy too?" Sauron couldn't help but look at the Moonlight. Moonlight waved his hand, expressing helplessness. "Okay, let's go," Luffy shouted, pulling the two into the boat. Immediately, the three of them staggered towards the sea in a boat that could shatter at any time. "Are you sure this boat can last to the next island?" Zoro asked Luffy while paddling. Go forward, Luffy sat on the bow, pretending to be stupid. Moonlight sighed. "Be reasonable with Luffy, you are still too young." Chapter 8 Orange Island. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the world of pirates, the last thing to do is to reason with Luffy and eat together. As long as you hesitate a little, Luffy will eat up your food and leave you with nothing to eat. Whatever Luffy decides, he will stick to it to the end. No one can stop him. Sauron couldn't help but, and the two of them paddled all the way to find the next island. 2 hours passed like this. Goo! Luffy's stomach growled. "Ah, I'm so hungry," Luffy yelled along with his stomach. "It's obvious that you just ate. What is your stomach made of?" Sauron couldn't help complaining. He is a rubber man, and his stomach is naturally different from that of ordinary people. The more he eats, the faster he rebounds. Moonlight knew it, but he hadn't seen Luffy make a move yet. Eagle. At this moment, an incomparably loud eagle cry suddenly sounded, and above the three of them, an eagle spread its wings and flew. "Ah, food, food!" Luffy's eyes lit up immediately, and regardless of other things, he stretched out his arms and grabbed the eagle. "Watch me hunt for everyone." "Rubber, pistol!" Luffy shouted, grabbing the eagle with his arm, and the whole person flew into the sky. "The arm is stretched, that is, a devil fruit." Sauron was surprised. Although he is a sword idiot, he has also heard the legend of the devil fruit. Yes, he should be a rubber man. He ate rubber fruit. Moonlight nodded. Although she had known it for a long time, seeing it with her own eyes was another feeling. The rubber fruit plucked from the magic tree can turn the human body into rubber, stretching as desired. In theory, this fruit is the most wonderful. So that's how it is. It's really not easy for a man like you to be followed by an expert. Sauron couldn't help laughing, looking at the Moonlight with a fiery face. "No, you idiot." However, Moonlight looked at the sky, and saw that Luffy successfully landed on the eagle's back, but because of poor control, he fell on the eagle's back and was taken away by the eagle. "Fuck, hurry up." Seeing this, Sauron was also taken aback, and hurriedly paddled desperately towards the direction where the eagle was flying. However, the speed at which they paddled was no match for the flying speed of an eagle, and they quickly disappeared. I couldn't help screaming at the moment, but I could only move forward. "Help, help. Is there anyone? I don't want to die. Oh, I'm about to drown." The two paddled all the way, and the boat went like a sharp arrow, but they didn't go far when there was a cry for help. Sauron followed the sound and saw 3 drowning people. Someone called for help. Could it be that Luffy fell down? Sauron's heart moved, and he swam over quickly, but it turned out to be 3 fierce strangers. "Help us, we're drowning. As long as you save us, the Bailey on us is yours. Help, we'll give you whatever you want." Seeing the boat, the 3 shouted quickly, but when they got on the boat, the 3 of them showed their ferocity. "Root, take out all valuables, or die. This knife is good, take it here. Hurry up, or we Bucky pirates will kill you." The 3 shouted ferociously. Bang bang bang. After a while of Sauron's education, the 3 immediately knelt down and begged for mercy. "Ah, sir, I was wrong, please forgive me. You are the pirate hunter Zoro. I didn't expect to provoke you, it's because we don't have eyes. Master, please forgive me. You said you are the Bucky pirates, so there is an island nearby." Moonlight said lightly. "Yes, there is an orange island nearby. Our Bucky pirates are stationed on the island. We are all crew members of the Bucky pirates. We were sent flying to the sea by Captain Bucky for committing a crime against Captain Bucky." The 3 of them dared not neglect, and said hastily. "Island? The devil fruit is the power of the devil cursed by the sea. In this case, Luffy will definitely find a way to fall on the nearby island." Moonlight looked at Sauron. "Good idea, paddle and take us to the island." Sauron nodded, and swung his sword horizontally. Yes, yes, yes. The three of them didn't dare to resist, so they paddled desperately and swam towards the nearby Orange Island. Although the boat was small, it was crowded with 5 people at once, but fortunately, the sea was calm and there were no waves. In addition, the 3 of them paddled desperately, and soon arrived at Orange Island. Then the 2 are ready to go to the island. However, as soon as they set foot on the island, the roar of a cannonball burst through the air, and it exploded in the sky. Eagle, at the same time, there was an extremely miserable cry of an eagle, but it was the eagle that was hit by a shell. Luffy, Moonlight and Sauron looked at each other and ran towards the direction where the eagle was hit. At the same time, in the direction where the eagle fell, at the same time as it fell, a figure fell vertically from the air, with its head upside down, and slammed down on the street in the center of the town like a green onion. At this time, more than a dozen crew members of the Bucky pirates were chasing a nimble figure. Damn it, stop for me, you dare to come to my Bucky pirates to steal something, do you want to die? Damn thieves, stop for me, everyone hurry up, otherwise if Captain Bucky finds out, we will die. Asshole, dozens of angry shouts sounded, and they surrounded the running figure. Hee hee, now I have all the treasures and the sea chart of the Great Route. If I sell it, I will definitely make a lot of money. Nami looked at the chart in her hand and smiled with satisfaction. She is Nami, the famous thief in the East China Sea. A thief who steals pirates. As she ran, she looked around for a route. However, at this moment, a figure fell from the sky and hit the road in front of her, blocking her way. Is this a person? Nami suddenly screamed and was taken aback. Take a bite. At this time, the Bucky pirates had already chased him over and surrounded him. Thief, now you have nowhere to escape. Hand over our captain's treasure, so that you may suffer less. It's a cute girl. Seeing Nami, they all sneered. However, at this moment, a figure descended from the sky and crossed in front of them. They were taken aback. Huh? A person who fell from the sky? Who? Is he dead? It must be dead. Is it possible for a normal person to fall from such a high place to live? They said one after another. Everyone thinks Luffy is dead. It hurts. However, Luffy suddenly pulled his head out of the ground, appeared in front of everyone, and couldn't help shouting, he's a rubber man who won't die and won't hurt, it's just that the height is too high, and some injuries are inevitable. It's a living person, a living person. Holding the grass, you are still alive after falling from such a high sky. Even if you are alive, you are definitely not a normal person. Who are you, and you are also here to snatch our captain's treasure? Chapter 9 The Bucky Pirates. You are listening at novelfull.audio. No, maybe he and this woman are in the same group. Boy, no matter who you are, if you dare to take advantage of our captain's treasure, you are dead, just obediently grab it. Everyone looked at Luffy and shouted. What? Luffy was in a daze, completely confused about the situation. He fell from the sky with a bit of a concussion. Before he recovered, he was pointed at with a knife and said inexplicable words. He couldn't help but look dazed. Oh, boss, you are finally here, you should hide everything. However, at this time, Nami's eyes lit up, and she said to Luffy with a familiar look. Boss? Who are you? Luffy couldn't help asking, and suddenly became more at a loss. However, upon hearing this, the pirates all around became angry. Sure enough, these 2 are in the same group. Come on, catch them. Damn it, you dare to snatch the treasure of our Bucky pirates, you are tired of living. Catch them and hand them over to Captain Bucky, they all said angrily, and flew towards the 2 of them. At this time, Nami had already hid aside while everyone was not paying attention, turned around and fled. Hey, what's the matter with you? Stop quickly, or I'll be rude. Luffy couldn't help shouting. However, no one paid any attention to him at this time, and they rushed over one after another. Damn it, what's going on? Luffy couldn't help being speechless, and shouted angrily in front of the vicious people who wanted to take his life. Rubber, whip. Immediately, his legs stretched very long, forming a long whip, sweeping towards everyone. The momentum of the rubber exploded all at once, and the pirates were knocked to the ground one after another. I didn't expect you to be so powerful. At this moment, Nami, who had gone back and forth, looked at this scene and couldn't help being surprised. After she left, she was a little worried and hurried back, but thinking that it's okay for Luffy to fall from such a high sky, he shouldn't be unable to deal with a few little thieves, but she still came and saw the scene now. "Who are you?" Luffy couldn't help asking. "My name is Nami." Nami introduced herself. Seeing Luffy, her eyes lit up, and a certain thought arose in her heart: if it can be achieved, her plan can be completed directly. "Nami, I'm hungry, where can I get something to eat?" Luffy nodded and asked directly. "Eat? Of course there is, and I know there is a place that has a lot of delicious food, but the premise is that you have to cooperate with me. As long as you can get it, you can eat and drink for the rest of your life." Hearing this, Nami smiled like a little fox. Okay, take me there." Luffy's eyes lit up suddenly, and he had already left everything else behind. "Okay, I have to tie you up first, and then follow the plan." Nami smiled and said to Luffy. Luffy nodded again and again. "As long as there is food, anything is fine." "Is this really a town? Why is it so desolate and there is no one there? What happened?" After Moonlight and Sauron landed, they walked towards the town. However, the town was empty, there was no one there, dilapidated houses and ruins everywhere. Sauron couldn't help asking. "Before Captain Bucky came, this was a bustling town, but after we came, the town became like this. Actually, we can't blame us. We, Captain Bucky, are very kind. It's the people in these towns who don't know what's good and who insist on going against us. That's why we ended up like this." "Not bad," the three Bucky pirates crew quickly explained. They also followed. "Oh. Speaking of which, you were the ones who provoked them first." Sauron sneered. He hated this kind of pirate the most. "What?" The three of them fell silent for a moment, not daring to speak again. "Take me to your captain. If Luffy comes here and knows these things, he will definitely not spare you." Moonlight said lightly, "In this era of great pirates, this is not unusual. Human life is worthless, the weak prey on the strong." Facing the pirate group, what can these ordinary villagers do? If they don't obey, they will die. Yes. The three of them didn't dare to neglect, and hurriedly led the way. "Damn it, it's the pirates of Bucky Pirates. More than that, there are two people with them. Damn it, this pirate team has strengthened again. No matter what, we must resist, even if we die, we must not allow them to destroy our village." Just as the group of 5 people left, on a hillside surrounded by a simple fence, several villagers saw all this with binoculars and shouted angrily. They are villagers from the town who were driven here. Seeing the village being constantly destroyed, and the pirates killing fiercely, they decided to resist. The village chief is already spying on the intelligence ahead. Everyone waits for the signal from the village chief, and attack together. They said one after another. "Captain, it's not good, it's not good. The treasure was stolen by the thief. We went to hunt it down and met a master. We were all defeated. Master Captain." At this time, Bucky pirates, on a huge ship, many pirates were drinking and eating meat. Suddenly a few pirates who were chasing the thief ran back, scrambling and shouting towards the captain's place from a distance. "What are you talking about? My treasure was stolen by a thief? You haven't caught it yet." In a gorgeous room, suddenly came a cold voice. "Master Captain, listen to us, that person is not an ordinary person, he. Hearing this voice, several people suddenly lost their souls, trembling all over, and said repeatedly, wanting to explain. "There's no need to explain. I don't want trash on my boat. Since I lost it, I'll die." However, this voice didn't bother to listen to their nonsense at all. With a cold snort, one hand broke into 3 pieces and flew out. He lifted the 3 of them up high and wanted to kill them. "Captain Bucky." At this moment, a voice sounded, and it was Nami who came with Luffy tied up. "Master Captain, she is the one who stole our treasure." "Damn thief, how dare you throw yourself into the trap? Kill her, kill her. Seeing Nami appear, several chasing pirates immediately said. Oh. Did you steal my treasure? Seeing this, Bucky the clown let go of his hand, walked out of the room, and looked at Nami. Is he the famous pirate clown Bucky? Seeing Bucky's real body, Nami was slightly surprised, but still smiled. Lord Bucky, you have misunderstood. I have come to rely on you. This man is my boss. He asked me to steal your things, but now I have turned my back on the dark. Nami smiled and handed over the treasure and sea chart she got. Chapter 10 Invite Nami. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Bucky pirates are not the kind of little pirates who are not popular, so she wants to do big tickets and eat their fill at once. Oh, looking at the lost and recovered sea chart and treasure, Bucky's expression on his face was cloudy and uncertain, and no one knew what he was thinking. Even Nami couldn't help feeling a little apprehensive for a while. You stole my treasure and sea chart, and you come back to me again. Do you think I will forgive you? Brothers, what do you say I should do? Bucky laughed straight, his painted face became more ferocious. Having said that, he sold a pass. Ha ha ha, of course I killed her. Yes, kill her, you damn thief. Dare to steal something from my Lord Bucky, damn it, damn it. Hearing this, everyone laughed wildly. Hearing this, Nami's face changed greatly, and cold sweat dripped down her face. Just when she felt bad and put her hand on the stick around her waist, Bucky suddenly laughed. Of course I accepted it. It's rare for you to turn your back on the dark, ha ha ha, little ones, isn't it gorgeous? Bucky laughed wildly. Ha ha ha, as expected of Captain Bucky, so gorgeous. Yes, yes, there is nothing more splendid in the world. Long live Captain Bucky is mighty. All cheered. Let's welcome my new companion Nami, little ones, let's have fun. Bucky laughed. Call. Seeing this, Nami secretly heaved a sigh of relief, and the hand on her waist also loosened. No matter what, it was finally muddled through. Hey, where's the food? Luffy was stunned and asked Nami. At this time, he didn't seem to have the awareness of being a prisoner, but he was still looking for food. Nami was speechless, and the crew of Bucky pirates locked Luffy in a cage, and then began to carnival. Is there? At this time, Moonlight and Sauron were walking in the town with the three leading the way, when suddenly there was a burst of cheers from afar. With sharp eyes, Sauron pointed to the distance and asked. That's right, that's where our Bucky pirates are. It must be that Captain Bucky is having a carnival again. Our Bucky pirates are having a carnival every day. To be honest, Captain Bucky treats us very well. Yes yes, the three nodded. In that case, lead the way, Sauron shouted. The three of them dare not neglect, they are all just younger brothers. In front of the name of the pirate hunter, the other side of town, a few villagers took the lead and brought everyone down from the mountain. They each held weapons and looked resolute. They decided to fight the Bucky pirates to the death. At this time, when they heard the cheers, everyone's faces were ugly. You bastard pirate, you're wasting our food again. Damn, these robbers. Exactly, when they get drunk, kill them, they all shouted. At this time, everyone on the Bucky pirates had a carnival together. Finally, Bucky tried the Bucky bomb in front of Nami. Seeing the town that was bombarded by a cannonball, Nami's face was ugly. She actually had a feeling of uneasiness in her heart, that she had underestimated these people a little. How about it, Nami? The power of my special Bucky bomb is not bad. Bucky looked at Nami and smiled. It's very powerful. The town has been blown away. Nami forced a smile. Really? As long as you are satisfied, at the end of this banquet, let's have a gorgeous ending. Bucky laughed. Order someone to lift Luffy up, then aim with Bucky bullets, and point out. Nami's expression changed. That's right, Nami, this trash is your captain, but he can't give you what you want. Shouldn't he be killed? Kill him, you are ours, you are officially joining us, right, little thief cat Nami. Bucky grinned, his eyes twinkling. Although he is cynical, he is extremely shrewd. How could he let people get away with it so easily? Nami's complexion changed drastically. She didn't expect the other party to be so shrewd, to have already investigated her origin clearly. When, Nami's heart sank, knowing that she had underestimated these pirates after all. Nami, Nami. Little thieving cat, little thieving cat. Kill him, kill him. At this time, when Bucky said this, everyone cheered. Several people stepped forward and pushed Nami to the front of the cannon. The Bucky bomb was already installed. As long as the fuse was ignited, it could be launched. Come on, little thieving cat, kill him, you are one of us. A pirate smiled and handed over a torch. The crowd cheered again. They all cheered that Nami killed Luffy. Damn it. This. Nami hesitated. She's just a thief, she's never killed anyone, and she only steals from pirates anyway. It's ill-gotten wealth, so it's okay to steal it, but if she wants to kill Luffy, she hesitates in her heart and instinctively rejects it. Boom. At this moment, there was a shocking sound, accompanied by a 10-meter-long crescent-shaped sword chi cutting towards it suddenly. The sword energy is so sharp that it cuts everything it passes through. Even the pirate ship was smashed to pieces. The sword energy swept across and slammed on Luffy's cage. Crack. The cage was cut to pieces immediately, and Luffy escaped immediately. Who? Enemy attack, enemy attack. Damn it, dare to destroy our pirate ship, who is it? Seeing this huge movement, the pirates all around shouted angrily. Okay. Bucky's face turned cold, looking at the two people who suddenly appeared. Moonlight.Sauron, you are finally here. Luffy looked at the two and cheered. Here, I leave it to you. I'm so hungry, I'm going to eat. After explaining, he ran to the unpacked food and swallowed it like no one else was there. Now is not the time to eat. Seeing this, Sauron couldn't help being speechless. Who are you? Dare to come here to make trouble? Bucky looked at the two of them with a gloomy expression on his face. Captain of the Bucky Pirates, Bucky the Clown, if you dare to kidnap our captain, you are courting death. But the purpose of my coming here is naturally the nautical chart of the Great Route. Moonlight said lightly, looking at Bucky. You want my charts? Hearing this, Bucky's face turned cold. How do you know the nautical chart? Nami was taken aback. The sea chart of the Great Route was discovered by her from Alita's ship and was stolen by Bucky. This is an extremely secret thing. How could there be a second person to know? How did I know? You don't need to know. You are a navigator, right? I noticed you when I was on the Alita pirate ship, but I didn't expect to see you here again. Why, join us and be our navigator. Looking at Nami, Moonlight smiled and sent an invitation. Being your navigator. Nami froze, apparently not expecting to be invited directly.